If you're going to trust God, then you first must have faith in God. You have to believe that God exists and that every testimony given about him is true, even when you can't see it and you're not 100% convinced. Hebrews 11 verse 6 says, "But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is the rewarder of those who diligently seek him." Deuteronomy 31 verse 8 says, "And the Lord, he is the one who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. Do not fear nor be dismayed." It makes it easier to trust God when you know that he promises that he will always be with you. God is a promise keeper, and he never breaks a promise because God is truth, and everything that he does is rooted in truth and righteousness. Knowing that he is always with you will provide comfort in those difficult seasons and circumstances of your life when it feels like the opposite of what you've been praying for, or God isn't meeting your expectations or even promises that he made to you personally. Trust, humble yourself, and acknowledge. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. If you're going to increase your trust in God, then you must work on your ability to humble yourself and acknowledge him in everything. Sometimes our issue isn't that we don't trust God, it's that we are too prideful. And when we are prideful, we tend to make decisions prematurely and then get ahead of God. But if we humble ourselves and then consult with God concerning every decision and situation, this would greatly increase our trust in him and then help us to remain humble enough to accept course correction. Understand that God has a certain time for everything. Learn patience. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 says, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven." What do you do when you've prayed, you've fasted, you've declared God's word, and you've acknowledged him, but it seems like you're still not being heard or you're not making any progress? You remain faithful to the last instruction God gave you, and you wait on him. We must understand that a huge part of trusting God is remaining patient enough to wait on him to act and bring things full circle in our lives. God has an appointed time for everything. This goes back to entering God's presence with humility. God is not a Santa Claus. He's God, the Lord of hosts, a craftsman, a master builder, a man of infinite wisdom. Have we ever stopped to consider that God had a certain time in which he wants to do things? A certain way, a certain standard? After all, he did create us. We did not create him. And everything done is done for the glory of God. So let's be careful not to steal his glory. Wait well, be courageous, and let God strengthen your heart. Wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. If you're going to trust God, you must be able to wait, but it doesn't mean you do nothing. You add oil to the fire of your faith so that it may increase and you don't grow weary and discouraged. Waiting well looks like being courageous. It looks like meditating on his promises. It looks like waiting on his appointed time and being confident that the appointed time is evidence that the move of God, the promise of God, is in motion. So I'm curious to know, which of these 5 verses spoke to you the most and will now change the way you trust in God? And as always, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you can continue to receive uplifting and empowering videos to fuel your faith, heart, and mind. And share this with someone you know who could use it. See you in the next video.